This woman is trouble. She is trouble with a capital T. She, as a matter of fact, I call her the 3 T's. Trash, trouble, and trifling. That's what she is. The little boy looks nothing like my son or any member of my family.
This man is caught in the ultimate battlefield, trapped between 2 women who are absolutely bringing the heat today. On one side, we have his mother, Ms. McBirth, who has officially reached her limit with her son, Mr. Hughes, and his ever-growing roster of children. She's not just side-eyeing this latest baby, she's flat-out rejecting the possibility that it's her grandchild. And to make matters worse, she's demanding a DNA test like it's a courtroom edition of The Maury Show. Drama? This isn't just drama. This is a full-blown 3-ring circus.
So why do you think she's in so much doubt over your child?
I have no idea, to be honest. Like, maybe because he is so white?
Because he all the white. He ain't got no black in him.
Now, this is next-level pettiness. Ms. McBirth actually strutted into court brandishing a picture of Mr. Hughes and the baby, waving it around like it's her slam-dunk piece of evidence. Her argument? They don't even look alike. Ma'am, come on. Meanwhile, the ex-girlfriend is not here for the nonsense, firing back and accusing Ms. McBirth of letting her personal biases block common sense. And just like that, the first round of this courtroom brawl has officially kicked off.
Okay, so a little over a year. Were you in a committed relationship?
I thought we was.
You did, okay. And was he the only person you were intimate with during that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Now she knows she lying. She lying.
Oh, she did not just say that. Nope, Ms. McBirth just crossed the line with a comment so unnecessary, so inappropriate. It had everybody in the room doing a collective double take. Someone needs to remind her that genetics don't work like a copy-paste function, and not every child is going to be their father's twin. Sure, she might be frustrated that her son keeps treating fatherhood like a never-ending hobby, but that does not give her a free pass to come after this woman with such nonsense. Seriously, Ms. McBirth, read the room.
She's been trying to put the baby on us.
Yeah, you have. Don't sit up and act like you haven't.
But the thing about her
She's trying to push that baby on. That ain't mine. I didn't sleep with her. That child is not ours.
When you say she's trying to push the baby on you, what do you mean?
She wants me to acknowledge that child is my son.
And now, out of nowhere, we've got 3 women in the ring, turning this courtroom into a full-on reality show throwdown. Wait, who even invited this 3rd woman? And why is she acting like Ms. Jackson's relationship status is her business? If Ms. Jackson says she and Mr. Hughes were together, then why is everyone acting like she has to submit a PowerPoint presentation to prove it? This situation is getting more chaotic by the second.
So, Ms. McBirth, tell me about the first time you met Elijah.
I seen him at the doctor's office where I was taking his real children to the doctor, and it was a newborn, and I walked past him, and I kind of glanced over there, and I seen this little white baby. I knew it wasn't mine, and I ain't had nothing else to say or do about it since then.
Oh, but wait, it gets even messier. Ms. McBirth has now turned her attitude toward Judge Lake herself, like that's going to end well. And hold up, did she really just say she only takes care of her son's real kids? Excuse me? Also, exactly how many kids are we even talking about here? And from how many different women? Meanwhile, Mr. Hughes, who, mind you, is the center of all this drama, is sitting there in complete silence, like a spectator at his own trial. Sir, say something.
I'm sick of all these little hookers trying to say my son is the daddy. I'm sick of it. I get babies dropped off here, dropped off there. I'm sick of it.
But
it stops today. Because that baby is not my son.
Here's the thing that she does.
It is.
Here's the
sorry.
That's a lie.
Yes,
No,
That's
it's
a
not.
lie.
A sex party? And the police were involved? What in the absolute chaos is happening here? But seriously, the real question is, where was the baby while all this madness was going down? Also, someone needs to tap Ms. McBirth on the shoulder and let her know that her "I'm done raising kids" fantasy is not happening. Because let's be real, her son, who is still sitting there like a mannequin, has enough kids to start his own youth soccer league. She might as well start prepping those diapers now.
Miss McBirth, I have to ask you, you're very tough on Miss Jackson. Do you have anything to say about your son's behavior?
My son has, I know exactly what type of person he is. He just as trifling as she is. He's a handsome guy. He's my son. And I know what he do.
Oh, you know Judge Lake was not about to let this circus take over her courtroom. She jumps in, cutting through through the nonsense with all the right questions. And where is Mr. Hughes during all of this? Still sitting there, mute as ever. Does this man even have a thought about his own child? And just when you think this case can't get any wilder, Ms. McBirth actually has the nerve to say that watching her son love on this baby makes her sick. That's it. She's officially lost it.
Do you believe you are Elijah's father?
I just gave him the benefit of the doubt because I'm biracial. My father's white, you know.
That child is not my son's.
Wait, hold on a second. So after all the bold, borderline offensive things she said, we find out Ms. McBirth is married to a white man? And now she's out here having a meltdown over the possibility of a grandchild looking white? Ma'am, be so for real. If anybody should understand how mixed genetics work, it's her. At this point, she's just proving that her logic is about as stable as this courtroom today.
You don't look like nobody I
All
know.
my grandbabies don't have a bridge on their nose. That little boy got a bridge. My grandchildren all look alike. Every last one.
All his kids, all his
So
kids look
wait,
like.
we're looking at the bridge of the nose.
Right.
And you're saying none of those match.
None of those match.
Oh, Ms. McBirth, if all your grandchildren look alike, that's great. But it does not mean that this baby is not your grandchild. If anything, all your grandchildren looking the same is quite weird and not a very common phenomenon. This woman is here talking like genetics is the most predictable thing. Looking for semblance on such a little child cannot possibly be accurate. Ma'am, please, even her son looks nothing like her.
She told him, she said, Cash, come on with daddy. Come with daddy.
I've heard him call other dudes daddy, though.
Woo!
I've heard him say that.
Go ahead, Trash. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
She makes it hard on herself, basically, because she feels a lot of doubts in the situation.
Whoa, wait a hot minute. Ms. Jackson, it looks like you're running out of excuses here. What do you mean she lets her baby call other men daddy? Also, it's not another man, it's other men. Now, I mean, it looks like the court was subtly supporting Ms. Jackson, but after that statement, it's difficult to see clear water. But enough of the chaos. It's time for the truth. Let's get to those DNA results.
Mr. Hughes, you are Elijah's father.
No! That's a lie. That's not true.
It's a lie.
Trash. I'm through. I know that's a damn lie. I know that's a damn lie.
I was living in Jersey City when I met Mr. Henderson at a bar. Mr. Henderson was a DJ. Mr. Henderson came to the bar and told me that I had some sexy eyes, some beautiful eyes. By him being a charming, very good looking, Your Honor, we got contact with each other. We started dating, we having sex relationship, Your Honor, and I became pregnant.
Oh, the drama is thick today. Mr. Henderson, a 57-year-old former heartbreaker, and Ms. Brown, his 56-year-old ex-lover, once had a hot summer romance. But here's the kicker. What he thought was just a fleeting summer fling turned into a lifetime consequence. Fast forward 3 decades, and Ms. Brown is now standing in paternity court with their 32-year-old son, Rodell, ready to prove that their brief rendezvous didn't just end with a goodbye. It resulted in a whole human being.
I had no chance of being with no other man but Mr. Henderson.
Your Honor, that's not true.
That's true.
Me and Miss Brown,
is true.
we were
It
never
is true.
dating. We were never dating.
Oh, no?
We were never dating.
No?
And Mr. Henderson? Oh, he is having none of it. He's standing firm, rolling his eyes at the whole situation, and making it crystal clear that, to him, Ms. Brown was just another name in his little black book. He swears up and down he doesn't know Rodell, doesn't want to know him, and if he had his way, he wouldn't even be here today. Let's be honest, Ms. Brown practically had to drag him into this courtroom, kicking and screaming.
And during the time when she said she got pregnant, I wasn't even dating her, and I always used protection when I was with her because I was sleeping with multiple partners. So why would I do that?
All right, so you say you got a team.
Well, I had a team. Yes,
So,
she was just
what
one
you're
member of the team, and
so-
she got a cut slip.
The way this man is shutting everything down, you'd think Ms. Brown just made the whole thing up out of thin air. If she wasn't physically present for their fling all those years ago, even she might start questioning if it actually happened. Now, Mr. Henderson insists that settling down was never his thing. Never has been, never will be. And as for kids, he's got plenty already. No need for any unexpected new additions to his already extensive roster.
Because one day I was outside the club, I was walking down the street, and I seen her sister. She said to me, "You know, Linda's pregnant." I said, "If so, it ain't my baby." because I had cut her off the team a long time ago.
Oh, so Ms. Brown knew what she was getting into? That's rich. These two are giving all the energy of a messy ex-couple that just can't help but argue. And just when you think things couldn't get any wilder, here comes the tale of how Mr. Casanova Henderson first found out Ms. Brown was pregnant. Buckle up. This is about to get interesting.
I know I use protection, but what I did tell her, Your Honor, the only way I'm going to believe the child is mine if we get a blood test. After I told Ms. Brown that, I didn't see Ms. Brown. This is the first time me laying my eyes on Ms. Brown in 33 years.
Exactly.
Look at these two going at each other like they are in couples court. Oh, please. This is paternity court, and the most important person in this case is the young man seated on that chair watching you both at each other's necks. What is Rodell even thinking at this moment? I'm pretty certain that it is along the lines of him not wanting to be here if they are going to keep doing this.
Your Honor, one thing I have to say is, like, my grandmother raised me. I mean, like, I made different, you know what I'm saying, choices in my life that led to me joining gangs because I ain't have no father in my life. And it hurt, you know what I'm saying? My mom, she was there, but she wasn't in the house like she was supposed to.
Now, this is just hilarious. These two lost contact for 30 years, and now they're back in court, arguing like it's still 1992. It's as if time stopped and they picked up right where they left off, except now, their heated back and forth has a 32-year-old spectator who just wants to know the truth. Rodell is sitting there watching two people act like they're starring in a soap opera, but for him, this is honestly real life.
In person, you see yourself?
Yes, I mean, we have same similarities. I mean, we like the same things. You say you was a DJ, you like to dance. I mean, I was a dancer. I mean, I used to go to different cities and dance and do music and everything. But you sit there and, I mean, you passed whatever you had in your life down to me.
Now would you look at that? Turns out they do have similarities indeed. Rodell feels so validated right now, just with the thought of this man being his father. Growing up and living life for over 30 years without a prominent male figure in his life really did mess with him. It messed with him in more ways than his mother can even realize. All those years of repressed emotions are finally surfacing as tears in court today. What a case.
So in this picture, you're about the same age that Mr. Brown is now.
Right.
All right.
Do y'all see this, Emma? Come on now. Good-looking son like this.
He's a good-looking young man. I just never saw him before.
Yeah, but you saw him at the age of 2.
Well, if you'd have stayed where you were supposed to stay, we would know.
I wasn't
and he
supposed
would
to
have been
stay
in my
in
life.
Jersey.
And just when you think there's progress, boom, we're back to square one. After finally admitting that, yes, he did see Rodell as a baby and even gave him his first haircut, Mr. Henderson immediately backpedals. Now he's swearing up and down that he always used protection, so there's absolutely no way Rodell could be his. Sir, at this point, you're just reaching. But hey, we won't have to argue for much longer. The DNA results are coming, and they don't lie.
And truthfully, Mr. Henderson, I can understand a part of your doubt. I mean, if in your mind you thought you used protection and then someone tells you you have a child, 5 months later they're gone and you don't hear from them anymore, a lot of people, if we're being very honest, many people would just say, oh, well, maybe that situation didn't materialize the way I thought and they've gone on about their life and you went on about yours. And yet, there's one person in this room that didn't just go on with their life.
Why is it that every person in denial pulls out the classic, he doesn't even look like me argument? Sir, this is paternity court, not a game of guess who. We don't need side-by-side photo comparisons, we need DNA. And what's this nonsense about Ms. Brown not staying in the right place? Oh, so now you care about what she was doing despite spending the last half hour insisting you don't care about this child at all? Make it make sense.
Mr. Brown, I have to ask you, what are you hoping for today?
I mean, I hope the results come out that he is my father.
You do?
Yes.
Me too.
We can move forward and he can be in my life and my kids' life.
And Mr. Henderson, what are your hopes?
My hopes is to get resolution today to find out if he's my son or not.
But let's not forget the person who's really suffering in all this, Rodell. Imagine growing up with a question mark where your father's name should be, only to finally meet him and have to sit through this train wreck. His entire identity is hanging on a single piece of paper, waiting for a courtroom to determine what should have been clear from the start. This isn't just family drama, it's decades of uncertainty, all coming down to one moment.
Mr. Henderson, you are not his father.
Oh, no!
I told you.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm not going to feel, I don't feel no remorse.
Now, Ms. Pickens, you admit to sleeping with at least men while involved with Ms. Jackson's son. You argue Ms. Jackson initially accepted your daughter with but now has turned on you both.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, buckle up, because this courtroom is on fire today. In one corner, we've got Ms. Jackson, the would-be grandma, and in the other, Ms. Pickens, the baby's mother, both ready to throw down. And the supposed father, nowhere to be seen, because he's behind bars. Yep, that's right. Mr. Jackson is currently unavailable due to legal obligations, but that's not stopping his mother from stepping in, center stage, accusing Ms. Pickens of being a little too social with her dating life. Messy doesn't even begin to describe it.
I never even heard of this young lady.
That's because you don't have a relationship. But
I have my
met you,
household.
I knew your son.
And he never mentioned her.
Okay,
let's get some order, ladies. Yeah.
Say what you want about Ms. Pickens, but at least she's keeping it 100% real. Not everyone would admit, on national television no less, to juggling 3 different men at once. Now the real question is, who's telling the truth? And let's not ignore the plot twist. Ms. Jackson initially welcomed this baby with open arms, only to turn around and call her own son a fool for believing he's the father. Ma'am, pick a side and stick to it.
But her
That
son,
would be biologically the answer. It was one of the guys you were sleeping with.
Yeah, he was
sleeping with.
She don't know. She don't know. She
when
don't
I met
know.
him, I had a boyfriend.
Exactly.
Me and the boy stopped.
So she also said
Me
she's
and the
a
boy
cheater.
stopped.
Hold on
Me
now,
and the
Miss
boy-
Jackson, let her speak.
I'm sorry.
Oh, these ladies did not come here to play. The case hasn't even properly started, and they're already going at it like rivals in a reality TV reunion special. And let's talk about the absolute horror of having some random woman show up at your doorstep, calling you Nana while holding a baby you've never seen before. And this child has been alive for 4 months? Ms. Jackson must have thought she was caught in some kind of alternate reality.
They look just alike.
Oh, yes, come on. My son looks more like her than he does me.
Her son look, no.
Can you stand up and turn to the court?
No.
That look more like her son than mine. Come
No.
on, let's be real.
Whew. Ms. Pickens is out here spilling every last detail like she's on a tell-all podcast. Did she just casually admit to having daily unprotected encounters with Mr. Jackson while also keeping 2 other men in rotation? Girl, some things are better left unsaid. Even a top-tier investigator wouldn't have pried that information out of me. But hey, at least she's transparent.
You're saying Miss Jackson actually expressed interest
Yes.
and established a relationship
Never.
Yes.
with the baby.
Never.
1 second, ma'am.
I never
Fake.
established a
Fake.
relationship with this child. We
Fake.
got
Give
text
her a lie to
messages
text.
that will even sit up here and say, I never
Lying.
established.
Ah yes, the classic, he looks just like him argument. But Ms. Jackson? Oh, she is not buying it. In fact, she flips the entire conversation on its head and boldly claims that her own son looks more like Ms. Pickens' brother than he does her. And just like that, folks, the semblance argument has officially been pronounced dead.
The
never
doubt
came over
was
there
for the simple
to
fact
pick
of
her
my son looks more like her
So
mother.
you're saying the first part of your doubt is you don't feel like the baby looks like your son.
Exactly.
Okay,
No
and
grandmother
next-
connection.
Next,
No.
what, meaning when you look at the baby, you
I
don't
do
have
not-
that feeling
Exactly.
that
This is my grandchild that I love dearly and take very good care of them.
Finally, someone voices what we've all been thinking. Were these 2 enemies in a past life? Because the way they go at each other, it's like they've been feuding for generations. The second one of them speaks. The other is already locked and loaded with a rebuttal. Judge Lake is doing her best to keep the peace, but let's be real. This courtroom is about one insult away from turning into a WWE match.
She had several men, unprotected. Then she claimed to be that another man was the father. So these are the reasons that I have my doubts about faking a pregnancy, stated she was pregnant when she found out Aaliyah was pregnant.
Wait a minute. Did Ms. Pickens really fake a whole pregnancy before? Oh, this just took a wild turn. And now we find out that Ms. Jackson already has 2 grandkids. Meanwhile, her son, the so-called ladies' man, is sitting in jail. Ma'am, respectfully, you might want to rethink putting all your faith in him. Just a thought.
I want to understand your position.
Okay.
And why you are certain that your grandchild was fathered by Miss Jackson's son.
To me, she looked just like this little boy done lived with me because his mother put him out.
Exactly.
And just when we thought things were cooling down, here comes Ms. Dates, confidently marching into this chaos with the "they look alike" argument like she's presenting rock-solid evidence. Oh, sweetie, you're about to be so disappointed. Meanwhile, Ms. Jackson is not having any of it. She's talking over Ms. Dates before the poor woman can even finish a full sentence.
In your mind, did you say to yourself?
I never said that ever. Said, oh, Shazaya looked like it. Never.
Knew, but when you knew your daughter had slept with around the time of conception, did you say to yourself, well, are we certain that is Miss Jackson's son? Or did you just go on the look factor?
No.
Oh, there she goes again with this look-alike nonsense. Woman, please. We are in paternity court for a reason, and that reason is simply because we do not agree with whatever similarities or differences between the father and the baby that our naked eyes can see. We need DNA test results, and we are going to get it.
Mrs. Jackson, you are not her grandmother.
Thank you, God.
Now this is peak insanity. 1 second, it's just screaming. Next thing you know, bam! Papers are flying, shoes are airborne. And Ms. Manning, ma'am, what was that for? Are we seriously out here turning court into a game of dodgeball? Thank goodness for Jerome, or else we might have seen actual furniture go flying. What a circus.
Court is in recess. When we come to this courtroom, it's about the children.
Yeah.
And if you do know who her father is, for her sake, ask them. Be willing to offer and say, if you want to go half, if you want to take a DNA test, whatever it takes for your baby, that's your focus. And look, I tell people all the time, mothers come in this courtroom. Ms. Moore, you say there is only one reason the defendant, Mr. Butler, has, and that's because of his manipulating wife. You argue you've been told on multiple occasions by the plaintiff herself that you are not her child's father.
Yes, you are.
The tension is sky high as Mrs. Butler fiercely denies that her husband fathered Ms. Moore's child. On the other side, Mr. Butler isn't holding back either. He insists Ms. Moore is making up lies just to cause chaos and rekindle an old flame. If this isn't a full-blown mess, I don't know what is.
Ms. Moore, has Mr. Butler been involved in your child's life in any way?
If you're talking about diapers and wipes, that's it. That's not a father to me at all, period.
Only diapers and wipes?
That's it.
Oh, come on, Mr. Butler. Are we really going with the whole "she just wants me back" routine? Because nothing about this situation screams desperate ex-girlfriend. And now there are harassment claims flying around too? Classic. Protective wives love standing by their silent husbands, defending them to the death while said husbands conveniently have nothing to say for themselves. Here we go again.
I was getting my hair done at one particular time when she was on the phone. He had her on speaker. And she told him, "You're not the dad. You don't have to do nothing for this baby."
Harassment.
You're right.
You heard it
You're
yourself.
right.
I heard it myself. Not only that, these texts right here.
She did hear it.
Jerome, will you pass me that evidence, please?
She said her and her husband does a good job of taking care.
And he do.
No, to me.
He has been a much better father than Quincy.
Hold up, Mr. Butler. Are you sure this woman is out here pining for you? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like she's moved on. If anything, someone else might have already filled the spot you so graciously vacated. Just saying. You might want to rethink that whole "she's doing this because she wants me" speech.
I believe that the conception dates are all wrong, because how can you tell somebody they pregnant in December but you have the baby in July?
Excuse me, correction. It was 7.5 weeks, December 11th.
Baby, you would have not have had your baby.
But did
in
I have
July.
sex with you?
And there it is. Ms. Butler is really testing Ms. Moore's patience today. But why is it always the women at each other's throats in court, while the actual problem, the cheating, lying husband, just stands there like a mute? Mr. Butler, sir, do you have anything to add? No? Of course not. Meanwhile, his wife is defending him like she's on payroll.
Ms. Harrison, you say the conception dates don't add up. Now, please explain to the court why you believe
December that you were pregnant. Your baby would have been born in September, because my daughter is September 22nd.
Oh, Ms. Moore did not come to play. She just threw it right in Ms. Butler's face. Her husband isn't just a cheater, he's a serial cheater. Not only was he sneaking around on his wife, but he was also cheating on her. This man is out here breaking records in the infidelity department. Somebody get him a trophy.
When Quincy come with bags, he thinks he's about to stay. He's a leech. He is a leech. And his soul, it's always, if I call Quincy, it's always her.
Oh yes, what a prize. Who wouldn't want a man who cheats non-stop, spreads his DNA across the city, and somehow still finds time to not have a job? I mean, really? He's living off supplemental security income and still causing this much drama? Wow. Someone quick. Where do we sign up for a chance at this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity?
I called him and I said, you know, my daughter is pregnant. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, she's pregnant. And he says, well, I'm gonna be there for her. I'm gonna take care of the baby. All of a sudden,
no, Your Honor.
there is no Quincy in sight no more.
At this point, I'm convinced Mr. Butler doesn't even know what it means to step up for a pregnant woman. The man showed up to one doctor's appointment, threw in a couple of diapers, and poof, he was gone like a magician. What a provider, what a protector, or, you know, not.
When I went into labor, I started having labor pains on the 25th. On the 26th, my blood pressure went sky high. When my blood pressure went sky high, my doctor came in and told me that my baby heart rate was going down.
Ms. Moore really went through it. Imagine enduring the entire roller coaster of pregnancy and labor alone, knowing that once it's over, you'll still be the only one holding it all together. That's next level strength right there. Meanwhile, Mr. Butler was probably out somewhere adding another name to his ever-growing paternity list.
Yes, she
They
did.
never called me and told me that my daughter was at Pomona Valley. She never told me that, Your Honor. So at the end of the day, I don't know who baby it is.
Look at this. After stating all of that, how he wasn't present for the entire pregnancy, Mr. Butler comes to the conclusion that he had no clue. Oh, please. Now, who are we supposed to believe? Something here is fishy, and it is looking like Mr. Butler is lying without any proof up his sleeve.
Is it true that you decided you'd maybe go and stay at Ms. Moore's house with Zamar?
Tell the truth. You're on dog.
Yeah.
So you did. You thought, and was it because you felt like this was your daughter?
Yes, I did.
Wait, what? Mr. Butler actually speaks? Somebody alert the press, because I swore he only communicated through awkward grins and guilty shrugs. But now, after all the chaos, all the screaming, and all the nonsense, we've finally arrived at the main event, the DNA results. Let's settle this once and for all.
Mr. Butler,
Yes, ma'am.
you are her father.
Look at you.
You claim you spent 5 years in prison for failing to pay child support for the defendant, Ms. Dillon.
That's right.
For 5 long years, Mr. Manser sat in prison, convinced he was being punished for a child that wasn't even his. The reason? Unpaid child support for Dillon, a boy he swears he has no biological ties to. On the other hand, Ms. Sayre isn't having any of it. She's confident Mr. Manser is the father and believes he's just making excuses to dodge his responsibilities. With both sides standing firm, it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out.
Well, Your Honor, I'm here to explain it cost me 5 years in the Department of Corrections. She was a friend of my aunt's. She was best friends with my aunt. We all lived in the community. She lived across the street. I knew of her. I knew her. I've spoken to her. But as far as intimacy, we was together one time, and I hate to be crude, but it was a one-night stand.
Oh, we already know this episode is about to be a full-blown disaster. Mr. Manser and Ms. Sayre aren't just not on good terms. They can't stand each other. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. One night stand or not, it happened, and for all we know, Dillon could be the very real, very permanent consequence of that one reckless night.
So I didn't show up for court, and I was named the natural father by the support that was ordered in the default judgment.
So how did you get arrested?
Later, after I still didn't pay child support, still unable to pay.
So let me get this straight. Mr. Manser missed a court date, didn't pay child support for 3 years after finding out he was supposedly a father, and says he just couldn't afford it. Oh, and let's not forget, he had zero proof the child was his. Meanwhile, Ms. Sayre insists there was a DNA test done, but the details around that are super murky. Honestly, it's impossible to pick a side right now. Both of their arguments are holding weight.
But I'm here to say that, you know, in today's society, I think it's cruel and unusual punishment to be sentenced to 5 years in prison, murderers and child molesters, for missing a court date, because that's basically what happened. I missed a court date.
Listen, I get that this whole situation has been a nightmare for Mr. Manser. No one wants to spend 5 years locked up over a kid they're not even sure is theirs. But let's be real, he's not completely innocent here. How do you not demand proof? How do you not show up to court? Man, you've got to play by the rules. If you ignore the law won't ignore you.
The information, the collection of the samples, I do see that for alleged father, it's entirely blank.
That's right.
Meaning
imagine that.
there is no address.
She forgot to put that part in there.
There is no information about you. It's all blank.
Okay, so we've got this supposed DNA result saying there's a 99.67% probability of paternity. But where's the proof that Mr. Manser's sample was even collected? How exactly did Ms. Sayre get his DNA? Something is not adding up. Good thing we're in paternity court, where we can finally get some real answers with a legitimate test. No more shady results. This time, we'll know the truth.
The laboratory results of the testing of paternity of 99.67%.
Well, you're the
Do you
second
know, man,
person.
that he said 97 means he still might not be the father when he heard that number?
Now, listen,
you can't pretend.
Mr. Manser, let me say this to you.
Does this mean that the old result was not accurate? Does it mean that it was? So many questions to be asked here. It's funny of Mr. Manser to conclude that it is not a positive paternity test after such a high number. With all of this, jail time is involved as well? What a duo. Think about the child, knowing fully well about all the drama surrounding his paternity. What a family.
Miss Sayre, you're saying that he expressed no doubt to you?
No.
Or not Dylan was his son until he was around 18?
Not until Dylan turned 18.
Don't you think the fact that I have nothing to do with it would express doubt?
You even had nothing to do with 3 of your kids.
Now this is getting interesting. So the only reason Mr. Manser has been MIA from Dylan's life is because he wasn't sure if he was the father? And yet, he's got 3 other kids, one of whom is here today, and he's present in their lives? Looks like he's been making up for lost time with them. But where does that leave Dylan?
You are Mr. Manser's son.
Yes.
Please, tell us, has he been a father to you? And if so, has he been a good one?
He's been a great father to me, as a father-son relationship should be, but
we're best friends.
We really are.
Now hold on. Mr. Manser has spent time with Dylan. He's even been paying child support for years after getting out of prison. So why is Ms. Sayre acting like he's been a ghost this whole time? From the looks of it, he's been holding back because of his doubts. Not because he doesn't care. Or is there something else going on? Let's hear what Dylan has to say.
I feel I don't know him that well.
We don't. We don't know each other.
Go ahead, son.
I love Chris, though, together.
Your brother.
Yep.
We're gonna be brothers no matter what happens after today.
I've only met
Would
my
you
little
like
brother.
to have a relationship, Mr. Manser?
Well, sure.
Well, Mr. Manser did say he wasn't here to win any Father of the Year awards, and boy, was he not kidding. His son just told him he's expecting a child of his own, and instead of even pretending to be sentimental, Mr. Manser hits him with, "That? This man is ice cold." Honestly, it doesn't even feel like either of them care about the other. If anyone's really invested in this, it's Ms. Sayre.
What are you feeling in this moment?
I feel like I was not the woman that showed up. I have never disrespected you. I let you be and live your life and be the life you've lived for the last 20 years.
Enough of the drama. It's time to settle this once and for all. For 20 years, Mr. Manser has denied fathering this child, while Ms. Sayre has stood firm in her claims. After all the arguments, accusations, and even jail time, the truth is finally about to be revealed. No more guessing, no more debates. The DNA results are in. Let's see who's been right all along.
Mr. Manser, you are not
Oh, God.
his father.
Oh, man. 5 years in prison. Dylan, I'm sorry, bro. This is why. This is why.
Lad did
You
it.
made it all up. You
No,
made
I
those-
did not.
Well, those results
I
apparently
don't know
are made
any
up.
of those people on that form.
Oh, my God.
Miss Foster, you claim you and your ex-boyfriend planned your pregnancy only to have him abandon you and deny paternity. You are here to prove that he is your daughter, Jakia's biological father.
Ms. Foster insists that this baby didn't just happen. It was the result of a carefully planned decision between 2 people. But now, Mr. Jackson is acting like he had no part in it, disappearing like a magician and swearing up and down that the child isn't his. The audacity! Instead of stepping up, he's running for the hills, leaving Ms. Foster to clean up the mess. Well, she's not having it. She's here today, ready to present her case, expose his excuses, and get the truth out in the open.
Mr. Jackson, you say Miss Foster cheated on you multiple times during your relationship, and there is no way you are Jakia's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Foster, tell us, why do you need to open your case?
I'm opening this case today because, Your Honor, I have a 1-year-old child who we plan on having. She looks like him.
Beautiful.
She acts like him. He doesn't step up to nothing. I mean, he's posted pictures on social media.
That's not my baby.
Wow. So Mr. Jackson just casually confessed that words mean nothing when they come out of his mouth? Just straight up talking for sport? And Ms. Foster was supposed to just nod along and accept that as normal? No wonder this whole situation is a disaster. If honesty was never part of the equation, what else has he been making up? This relationship was a ticking time bomb from day one, and now the explosion has landed them right here in paternity court. Buckle up, because this is about to get even messier.
Ma'am, Your Honor, this relationship started through social media. We found each other through Facebook.
Social media, I should have known. No wonder we talking about social media. Okay, go ahead.
We found each other through social media, so we had a mutual friend. They vouched for him, said he was a good person, so we jumped into a relationship. I had my first child, and he did come bring us to his mother's house, but he was claiming my first child knowing she wasn't his baby.
Oh, Ms. Foster. Honey, I don't know who gave you that title, but the best mother in the world would not be standing in paternity court airing out this kind of chaos. And let's be real, admitting you cheated is already bad enough, but cheating with a man you used to introduce as your brother? That's not just a red flag. That's the entire emergency alert system going off at full volume. What kind of soap opera storyline is this? And the craziest part? We're only getting started. Let's see just how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Basically what the story was, she already came to my house pregnant by her so-called brother, you feel me? And it was like, I mentioned it to her, you feel me? She used me for a place to stay.
I can't come nowhere pregnant if I just had a baby.
Wait a minute, let's make sure we're all on the same page here. Ms. Foster looked this man in the eyes, called him her brother, and Mr. Jackson just went with it? Meanwhile, this so-called brother was actually the father of her first child. And oh yes, they were still very much involved. You cannot make this stuff up, but hold on tight, because just when you think it can't possibly get worse, oh, it absolutely does.
So you think you in a relationship, but she's sleeping with your friend?
Yes, at
No,
my
Your
mama's
Honor.
house.
No, Your Honor. We
Yes,
were not
you were.
together when he left. We were not together.
But you still in my
After
mama's house
February
when I
23rd.
left though, you feel me?
That's pointless. I mean, that matters nothing to me.
How many times I was
you
like,
left,
you know,
you
kick
brought
her
me
out.
her.
20 years old with 2 kids and no stable father figure in sight? Whew, that is a lot to unpack. And don't even try to tell me protection was out of reach, because last I checked, it's not exactly a luxury item. But here we are, watching her try to sort out this mess in paternity court because she's not even certain who fathered baby number 2. This isn't just a disaster, it's a full-blown catastrophe. Someone grab the popcorn because this train wreck is only gaining speed.
The baby that Kaya, that she was pregnant with, the man Marquise already in the phone talking about that was his child. She came to my house pregnant. I didn't hear from her after I came to Chicago until she had the baby. She was 6 months when I first heard about her.
Oh,
You know?
look at that. Miss Foster, I do have to ask you this.
Okay.
Oh, so now we're just out here making babies on a 2-week spree and calling it proof? Ms. Foster is standing 10 toes down on this claim, convinced that Mr. Jackson has to be the father. And if that wasn't enough, she's teasing some so-called stronger evidence that's supposed to seal the deal. Well, color me intrigued. Let's hear this bombshell and see if it actually holds up, or if we're about to witness another paternity plot twist.
So, my conception day said February 21st is when you were fertilized. You were still there, so.
But didn't you also admit you were having sex with both guys? Because if he could have 2 girlfriends, you could have 2 boyfriends?
By me going to medical school, I kind of know what I'm talking about as far as the female reproductive system.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the audacity. Ms. Foster really tried to wave her degree around like a golden ticket to credibility, but Judge Lake shut that down real quick. A college diploma doesn't change the facts, sweetheart. If she had all that intelligence, maybe, just maybe, she should have used it to make better choices and avoid ending up here in the first place. But hey, we're already deep in this mess, so let's keep it moving and see what other surprises she's got up her sleeve.
Were you having a sexual relationship with the other guy at the same time you were having it with Mr. Jackson?
Not the exact same time. No, Your Honor, I was not.
So it is your testimony that during the window of conception, you only slept with Mr. Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Ah, the classic paternity court thing. When it's time for the fun part, everybody's an expert. They know the positions, the timing, the whole playbook. But the second responsibility knocks on the door, nobody remembers how they got here, and suddenly it's all confusion and denial. But don't worry, we're not done yet. This roller coaster still has a few twists left.
Look, Your Honor, exactly why he said that. He just, like a month ago, came down to St. Louis to go pick up his brother. His girlfriend texted my phone. We would like to see Kaya. I said, that's fine. You guys cannot take her out, but you guys can meet her. I waited at my house for a whole weekend for them, no show.
Oh, so now we're just supposed to take Ms. Foster's word for it. After all the back and forth, she still insists Mr. Jackson is the father. But let's be real, talk is cheap. At this point, nothing either of them says holds any weight because clearly neither of them have been the most honest people in the world. Mr. Jackson has spent this whole case dodging responsibility, acting like none of this is his problem. Meanwhile, Ms. Foster has made some questionable life choices, to say the least.
But I see what's happening here. Just like I told you before, both of you all, y'all can talk. And I mean, look, it's entertaining. The problem is, a baby's life ain't no show.
Okay.
It's a real life.
Oh boy, did Judge Lauren get that right? These two are definitely a handful. Entertaining, but still a handful regardless. No way this baby should be put in the middle of all their drama. My goodness. Their bickering is definitely an earful as well. If this is how arguing happens with them and the baby in between, it is definitely a no-no. But enough of all of this. Let's have some dinner. It's time for the results, and it is spicy.
Mr. Jackson, you are not the father. What's funny?
I heard that. It was kind of like, ooh, ooh. That's why I laughed.